I know a long time ago, but I'm back with the Mᴉndatory Show. It's me, Shandor. I hope you guys doing well, the other side of the screen. And I was thinking that because with my coming back, I was thinking that I'm gonna talk about some good news around the world, because I know these days there are not much good news you can hear from the news and all this stuff. So I was thinking that I'm gonna do a little good news session for today. Hope you guys gonna enjoy. So all the good news is gonna be all around the world about animals, about energy and all this stuff. So let's begin. And the first what I'm gonna start with is the black-footed ferret. These little creatures behind me, as you can see. Look at that, what face it has. Yeah, this is how it looks like. I'm gonna show you guys. So basically, first of all, unfortunately, the conversion of shortgrass prairies to agriculture and habitat fragmentation have significantly reduced the black-footed ferret native environment. And basically these adorable, playful creatures known for their handstand burrowing techniques were declared extinct in the wild in the 1970s. But thankfully our scientists, they achieved to put them back into the wild. It was a lot of research, and it was successful, luckily, because they use a technique called the somatic cell nuclear transfer to clone, and basically they clone the black-footed ferret from frozen cells. This breakthrough offers a chance to rebuild wild population and reintroduce these fascinating animals into the wild and their native habitats. So I'm really pleased to tell you this, guys, that this animal was once extinct, but luckily it going back to the wild. So basically these species native environment is shortgrass prairies of North America, specifically the Great Plains region stretching from southern Canada to northern Mexico. These carnivores are the only ferrets native in North America, and they nicknamed prairie poodles for their dark fur and bushy tails, what you can see right now. So the blackfoot ferrets are specialized predators, and the primary food is the prairie dogs. These ones. This is a prairie dog. This is how it looks like. And basically the black-footed ferret can consume 10 prairie dogs a day, actually a night, because they are a night species. And they primarily inhabit areas with established prairie dog colonies. Utilizing the burrows these rodents create for shelter, raising their young and hunting their prey. The ferrets modify these burrows to suit their needs, creating nesting chamber and connecting tunnels. These help control prairie dog population, preventing them from overgrazing and damaging the delicate prairie ecosystem. And this is how they hunting these prairie dogs, these black-footed ferret. Yeah, this is how it's the nature going on. So basically this black-footed ferret is consuming 10 prairie dog a night. This is how they hunt them, and basically this helps the ecosystem to thrive. And by keeping the prairie dog population in check, black-footed ferret have create a more diverse habitat, healthy grassland, which support a variety of plant and animal life. When unchecked, large prairie dogs population can dominate the landscape, reducing plant diversity and impact other species that rely on these grasslands. So on rare occasion, Blackfoot ferret may supplement their diet with other small mammals such as mice, ground squirrel or rabbits. Um, but yeah, so that was my first good news today about the Blackfoot ferret, and hopefully this effort gonna thrive and the black-footed ferret population gonna grow during the time on the wild as well. So the next what I want to talk about is rhinos. So this is a rhino from India. This is how it looks like. A really big, huge animal with a thick skin. And so, as we know, or probably most of us know, that rhinos being hunted all around the world where they native and available. There are many reasons why they are doing that. First of all, a lot of people thinks that this is a traditional medicine, and this actually private drivers to poach rhinos, and such as some part of Asia, and particularly Vietnam and China. And despite the lack of scientific evidence, rhino horn is mistakenly seen as a cure for various ailments, including cancer. But if these people would do some research, they would find out that the rhino horn is actually built up from the same molecules such as our nails. So basically the rhinos is like a big large nails, a thick nail like for us in our fingers. Also another reason because they are hunting these lovely rhinos is because of status symbols. In some culture, rhino horn is viewed as a status symbol, display wealth and prestige, and basically this is fuel the illegal trade in rhino horn, driving up the price in black market too. So this is an organized crime because of the high demand for rhino horn. Make is a very profitable commodity for a criminal organization, and it's widely available in the black market. Actually, a rhino horn is worth more than a gold, and is making tempting target for poachers. Also poachers using sophisticated tactics such as firearms, tranquilized darts, and even helicopters to evade capture. These well-funded group pose significant challenge into the conservation efforts. But after this, I had to tell the good news as well, because there is a lot of fight against rhino horse and rhino poachers, and there is a big victory in India because it's in the Kaziranga National Park. It's a crucial stronghold for these magnificent creatures, and this national park reported zero rhino poaching for the first time since 1977. So hooray! It's a really good news, and I hope more natural park can achieve this, because rhinos meant to live as well in this earth, and they don't deserve to be poached, even if many people think it's a cure for some sickness and it worth more than gold, because it's just insane. This is just a big nail in their face, in their so I think many people should think about, when, let's say, purchasing rhino horse or poaching rhinos, that you actually killing animal for fingernails basically. So I'm really happy that this natural park could achieve that, and I really hope most of them can do that as well. And this is thanks for the park rangers, conservationists and local communities that basically working together to stop these poachers. Fun fact actually, that the largest rhino species, the greater one-horn rhino, this is how it looks like. Here we go. This is the largest rhino on the world. Basically boost a single horn, and this is as well as our nails made of keratin, nothing else. Or also hair, so our hair as well made keratin, so basically this is that one, this. Just for them, they needed, because they live in the wild, so they needed to create some defense against predator, and the evolution and the natural selection made these horns to survive, and that's why they thrive in the wild still now. Unfortunately, they don't have defense against poacher. We as humans should be their defense to finally educate people that this makes no sense to poach them for their horns, because I think a living rhino is looking way better in the wild than a dead in your room. And believe or not, but their eyesight is quite poor, but they have an excellent sense of smell and hearing. So there are different challenges for the rhino rangers. First of all, there are limited resources, so many African and Asian countries where rhinos live face challenges in adequately protecting these animals because there are limited budget for park rangers, for equipments and anti-poaching patrols, and this is making it difficult to be effective. I would wish that like people and organization would get a lot of money for this rather than go war and kill other people, because that makes no sense at all. We should live in an era when we gonna find enlightenment, and we find out that like we should turn our money into good things, not bad things. And this actually it takes to what I wanted to talk is like everything these days is all about corruptions, because some government agencies can leave rhinos valuable and vulnerable, and basically some government as well can play together with the poachers, and basically they gain a lot of income after that, or just look away, which is ridiculous, honestly. Also, there are challenges because these rhinos' habitat is shrink, and therefore it is easier target for the poachers to get them. But I still believe that what's happening in the Kaziranga National Park, it can happen in different parks as well, and actually happening because there are other places where they're fighting against poachers. For example, all around Africa, such as in Kenya, where the tech-savvy rangers using cutting-edge technology to combat poaching. They send drones all around and they check thermal images, and basically they can patrol with the drones waste areas and locate poachers at the night as well. And additional rangers use real-time data analysis to predict poaching hotspots and deploy resource effectivity. And also let's go to Central America, where in Guatemala you can find a canine called the jaguarandi, and this is how it looks like. This is a jaguarandi. Here we go. Look at that, so cute face. What a nice cat, what a nice canine. So this is native in Guatemala and around Central America. and basically this beautiful jaguarundi is facing threat as well from poachers. Basically they use snares such as these ugly snares, this one, to capture them, and therefore their population is shrink really quickly. But there is a program, so basically jaguars detect snares, and basically these jaguars called anti-poaching jaguars. They are not released in the wild, but work alongside with the rangers to locate and disable snares. And this can protect the population of jaguarundi. And a fun fact that actually you think, because after the name the jaguarundi is close relative to the jaguars, such as this one, but actually these are more closer relatives to pumas, like this one. You can see pumas and jaguarundi. Actually I can see that like the closer relativeness than a jaguar, but these are all beautiful, nice canine cats, and we should protect them, and we should let them to live alongside humans, because they as well deserve to live on this earth, because they evolve and they survive through natural selection to be alive right now on this earth as well. The another good news is actually that, let's say that basically right now, because a lot of urbanization, we cutting off to the wildlife their green corridors where they can move freely and move one place to the another. And because of we building a lot of roads, be fencing all around the properties, and this actually stop or make it harder to wild animals to move freely in different areas. But there are actually good news, because for example Wyoming is the forefront of movement to create a wildlife corridors. Basically miles of fencing are being removed, allowing animals like deer, elk, antelopes to move and migrate safely across the area, which is a really good thing to do. I believe there should be many areas to do the same things, that remove fencing and let the animals to move freely one place to another, which gonna help for them breeding, find new food, get good shelter, water, and all these things what they need for the survival. And this is not only benefit the wildlife, but actually it promotes a healthy ecosystem. The title of the biggest land migration on earth goes to the caribou, and this is how it looks like. It's a magnificent animal with a really big horn. Here we go. It's a really beautiful animal, and basically this herbivore is making a remarkable journey across vast distances, with some herd traveling over 745 miles, which is converted into 1,200 kilometers. And basically they're doing round trips every year. And actually these caribous followed by grey wolf, so grey wolf as well migrating a lot to get their favorite food, the caribou. And also there is another big migration, and that is in Africa. And so millions of wildebeest gather around, like around 1.5 million species every year. They gather around and participating in an annual migration, joining by hundreds of zebras and gazelles. The wildebeest migration follows a roughly circular patterns across the Serengeti ecosystem in Tanzania and the Masai Mara until the national reserve in Kenya. Here we go. I'm just gonna show you. So basically there we go. So at the bottom from January to March, and then they move up and then going around, all around, and then they're making a circle every year to get the best food, to get always water, to find mating partners and all these things. And actually in Africa as well started to happening that like they fancy more and more area, which is make them struggling to make this journey all around the year, which I don't think we should be. Like I think Africa, one of the area when it's still like there is really wild, and we shouldn't urbanize. For us humans, we should let thrive the wildlife as it is, because it can change a lot in our ecosystem. Right now as well, we can see that our ecosystem is not the same as was before, and this is a lot of things because of human activities. I'm not saying it's everything is human fault, but many of the things what we are doing, we actually reducing the resources for the ecosystem to thrive and to renew themselves. And so basically this is the cycle driven by constant search for fresh grazing pasture and water source, and migration is actually triggered by changing seasons. Another good news what I want to talk about are solar energy. Basically the sun's power is becoming an increasingly attractive energy source, which is a good news. The cost of solar panels has been steadily dropping and making them more accessible and affordable option for homes and businesses. This shift towards renewable energy source like solar powers have to reduce our dependence on fossil fuels, which is a good step, and basically this helps combat to climate change. But how solar panels work, you may ask. So basically the solar panel consists of photovoltaic, which is PV cell, typically made from silicon. Here we go. So here we go. That's the solar panel. As you see in the bottom, this is how it should. So the sun energy gonna go down and separate the energy and then make us light. So yeah, so basically this is made from silicon, and when the sunlight hit the cell, it excites electrons within the silicon, creating an electric current. So this direct current, the DC electricity, then flows through an inverter, which converts it into alternating current, which is the EC electricity, and the kind used in our homes and businesses. And so also I want to talk that why solar panels are effective. So first of all, it's a renewable energy source. It's derived from the sun energy, and it's constantly replenished resource, unlike fossil fuels. Also it is environment friendly, because solar energy production doesn't generate harmful emission or contribute to air and water pollution. Low maintenance, and another good point, because once you installed, the solar panels require minimal maintenance, making them a cost-effective option in the long run. And lastly, they are scalable, because solar panels can be used in various applications, from powering individuals' home to large solar farms generating electricity for entire communities, which is a really good thing. But for solar panels need an ideal location to get the most power out of it. Therefore, we should place these solar panels where high sunshine hours, where areas with abundant sunshine throughout the year, so you can maximize the solar energy production. Places like desert region with clear skies. Also, we need available land. So here I would say if people would eat less meat, then we would have more available land for solar panels, and therefore our life would be healthier and less polluting. Because large-scale solar farms require significant space, such as again desert or unused agricultural land, and in where you can put rooftop of buildings, and also we need a supportive infrastructure so where is efficiently transmit and distribute the generated solar power. So right now, currently, transferring a large amount of solar energy over vast distance like Constance isn't practical due to energy losses during transmission. However, there are ongoing advancement in technology. For example, this one, the HVDC transmission line, which is called high voltage direct current. So basically this technology transmits electricity more efficiently over long distance compared to the traditional AC transmission lines. So basically in this side, let's say you collect the energy from the sun through solar panels, and that AC convert to DC, and then after go to the other side, which is the DC convert to EC, and then you can use the energy what you take from the renewable energy. So basically it's a joint, it's a help to convert and move to long distance renewable energy, which is a really good idea, I think. Or there are another good idea, it's called smart grids. So basically these intelligent grids can integrate different energy sources including solar, and optimize energy distribution based on the real-time demand. So the smart grid should be in the middle, and then basically all around sustainable energy such as solar power plants, energy store, all around where you can get energy from, that's basically you collect into the smart grid, and that smart grid go into the other side, which are there are your house, factories, and all things what we need for our daily life. And basically this is gonna help to get energy to everywhere, and not to buy from another countries, let's say, or not to depend on another countries, which is a really good idea. And also we need an energy storage solution where we can storing excess solar energy during peak production period, and releasing it when needed could potentially facilitate long distance transmission in the future. Right now it's not available, but scientists working on them really hard. I'm with them, and I really hope they're gonna succeed, and finally we can change our energy use from fossil fuels to renewable and sustainable energy, because that's the future, definitely, and that can help our ecosystem to thrive and be alive again as what is before this big boom of industrial revolution. We need another industrial revolution, definitely, in a better way, because right now we know that like what went wrong and what's causing harm, and that we can change it to a different and a better solution, because we know that as well. So for the problem we already know the answer, we just need to start to apply on it and not too afraid from new things. We are humans, that's why we are here, to try new things and to help the planet, because our brain, it can sustain this. That's why we got a thinking brain to think about new solution and not rely and be lazy. And therefore some researchers already are exploring the concept of creating artificial photosynthesis, which would be a really good idea, to be honest. Basically, this mimic how plants convert sunlight into energy, and this could potentially lead to the production of hydrogen fuel from solar energy, which could then be transported more easily. So while continent to continent solar energy transfer isn't yet commonplace, advancement in transmission technology and energy storage offer promising possibilities for the future, which is a really good news. And yeah, to be honest, that's it for today, guys. I hope you enjoyed this good news, what I was talking about. I'm gonna come with many more new good news, such as the Great Barrier Reef, and also about sea turtles. I'm gonna talk about plastic, and also I'm gonna talk about everyday people such as you or me, that like how we can help our ecosystem to not to die and make us extinct. This was the Mᴉndatory Show with good news. But before I gonna stop the live, I just want to introduce for you guys that actually I have 2 books which is available on Amazon. These 2 books, what you can see in here. So this is the Little Zoologist collection. This is for kids, so it's a really good thing to teach kids for the English alphabet, basically, because each page is with different letter. So with that you can teach your kid with the English alphabet. Also, as you can see, there is an exercise that basically say that draw an animal beginning with, let's say, A, and then when you found that animal, then here is a rectangle where you can draw it. So basically this is free in one exercise, so your kids can learn the English alphabet, they can learn animal names, and also they can make their drawing skills better. The another book is more for teenagers and for adults. It's called The Brain Codex, and basically this is actually I made myself, but after I thought that like why not, maybe it's gonna help to other people. So basically this little Brain Codex helps you to find out who are you basically, and how you can be a better self of you. It's gonna help you to find your negative loops, your bad habits, and you can write yourself some commitments, bucket lists, your achievement, all these things. And basically once you fill up this, then you don't need to purchase one more time, because when you are not sure with yourself or with something, then you just go back, read it, and then you know what is the next step. I would advise you use pencil, because sometimes, of course, I mean, that's the reason for that like to evolve your brain. So when you evolve and you ready to get to the next step, then basically you just write the new stuff, what you need to know about yourself. Alright, I wish everyone a lovely day. Hope you're gonna join back for the next time. Until then, take care everyone, and see you later. And be mindful always, because it's mandatory to be mindful, guys. Take care.